our nurse's supplies in here, and we had a little bed back here. This was the nurse's room.
The old ditto machine.
That's the old ditto machine that I used for forever. The old ditto machine, and I mean, you'd have ink all over you when you got through with it, but at least it made copies. And this was our teacher's supply room. This is where we kept all the teachers' supplies. And we'd usually check them out. You know. Beautiful wood. Some of this wood is just gorgeous. I can see if it could be preserved. Oh, the courtyard is so sad. And this is just a typical class, one of the typical classrooms. This was one of the 4th grade rooms. Every room had a clock, and for a long time we had no way of, no communication between the rooms. If I needed to take a note to one of the classrooms, I had to take the note, but then eventually we got a clock that had bells, and each room had a bell, and you could ring the bell, and the teacher would send a student in to get the message. This was the boys' bathroom, which they have that closed off now, and the girls' bathroom was over on the other side, just the same situation. This was what we called our courtyard, which was beautiful at the time, and we had a lot of programs out here. People would sit and have, and during our carnival time we had like a garden cafe out here, and people could come out here and eat. These classrooms back here were added at a later time. There's 2 on each side, and they were added to the school. But they were here when I came, but when the school was first built in 1922, they didn't have these back classrooms. I don't know if you can see in here, but this was the teacher's bathroom. Can you believe this? The teacher's bathroom. And at one time, it did have green tile, which was really uptown. Okay, this was our cafeteria, and it had tall ceilings like the rest of the school until they decided to make it into classrooms, and so they put a lower ceiling in, and then they divided it so they could have 2 rooms. In fact, one time this room was even divided into 2 classrooms. In the last few years, this was a library, But at one time, this was the district office. But the last few years that the school was, see, there's lots of water damage. And this was also part of the auditorium, when the auditorium was here, and those doors on each side, on the right and the left, those were the doors that went up to the stage when they This was our last teacher's room. And as I said, at one time, this was the stage to the auditorium, but this was our teacher's room. I remember the principal, Bob Pedretti. He's the one that wanted to change the teacher's room, and so they put up some wallpaper and repainted it, and we had curtains on the windows.
Is this how you remember it when you left?
Actually, it was pretty nice. It was a pretty nice teacher's room. We had nice furniture here, and the colors were nice, and it was pretty nice. This was their basically, they were all about the same. And as I said, they had lots of windows, and that's what a lot of the teachers liked, was the windows.
I did sixth grade. Remember when we were on double sessions? I was in the afternoon.
Okay, so you actually went to Jackson, then moved to Jackson or Nordstrom?
Well, from here I went to junior high. I went back to Burnett. I was in that room. I had Mr. Kelly.
Oh, okay.
And we used to share desks, and I shared with this kid Clay. He was so neat, and I was not so neat. And I never met Clay, and I never really wanted to because I was sure I would hear about it. But yeah, we were in there.
But I can't remember. I was the secretary.
I remember you.
Mrs. Metcalf, you remember me?
I remember you.
Okay. I usually remember most of the students.
I tried to stay out of trouble.
And they remember, you were in the office. You were one of the ones that wasn't in the office very often. Good, but you did have Mr. Kelly.
I had Mr. Kelly. My sister used to babysit for him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. God, it's so much littler.
Oh, I know.
These days.
It seems so different. Kind of sad.
It's kind of sad.
Yeah, kind of sad.
Are these floors always gray?
No.
Weren't they hardwood floors?
Yes. At one time
They are hardwood floors.
At one time they were the hardwood floor look, and then they painted them gray, and then the classrooms is when they put some carpet in. Remember? Yeah. We didn't have that before.
I didn't remember that. I remember, is it